Welcome everyone to episode 17. I'm so excited to bring you this content, and I know I say that every show, but today just has a whole new level of energy, and that's because I woke today with a migraine. So I spent so much time, many years, battling migraines. I went through going to the chiropractor weekly, physiotherapy, um, working in the weights room, strengthening all different parts of my body, yoga, meditation, a whole range of things in managing my migraines. And I would work, really consistently through the week and often spend the weekend in bed and just really missing life. And so it was so good to notice this migraine come on this morning, and being able to pull out all my tools and tricks to be able to tame it and to tame my migraine. So as I woke, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was 10, like pounding. I couldn't deal with the light, even though I woke with my sleep mask still on. So there was no light, but it was just really challenging, really painful. And straight away, I just went into this process that I know that helps me work through my migraines. And I thought, what an absolute ripper of a topic to share with others that have migraines. And I don't claim to cure migraines, but I certainly can tell you that these techniques help me tame mine, and headaches as well. So I truly hope this brings you value. If you're one of those people who is a migraine sufferer or has tension headaches, I strongly recommend you stick around for this. If you're listening to the podcast, please also know there's a YouTube channel where you can watch the video. So I do actually prepare content. So it's a slide deck. There's some guiding questions in today's show. So you'll be able to get those from the show notes, or alternatively, you can jump and watch it on YouTube and just go through that guided process with me. So if you're listening in or watching, welcome, and let's dive into the content. So taming migraines. This is something I struggled with for many years. So it's really pertinent that it comes up today with my migraine, and that I share that with you all. So pain is often our emotions calling out to be heard. And for many years, I just dulled my migraines with painkillers, sometimes it was painkillers and red wine. So I had a particular concoction that would work really well for me. I won't tell you what it is here because I don't want to prescribe it, but it was a mixture of painkillers and muscle relaxants, and red wine was the only thing that would get me a reprieve and get me sleep. Really challenging times. But what I didn't know at the time was I was numbing. My pain was my pain in my body, like my body was calling out. There were emotions that were unresolved. There were things that I needed to address that I just wasn't, and it was showing up as pain in my body. And until I tapped into it, I wasn't really able to release it. So just opening with that quote, that pain is often emotions calling out to be heard. And today I'm going to help you explore that even further. So taming our migraines, there's a bit of a process that I've developed. Some of you that have worked with me for some time know I have a process or a tool or a technique. And it really just makes it really clear on being able to teach this to people, and for people being able to pick it up. So with taming migraines, we do a few things. We observe it first, we identify it, we explore it, we take action, and then we check back in. So I'm going to guide you through that in today's show of how we take all of those steps together. So let's kick off the first one with observing. So what we do is we sit with it, we notice what is happening, and connect the body and the breath. Okay. So this really works for any type of pain, if I'm honest with you. Like this worked with my daughter the other day when she woke up in pain. Pain was so bad she felt like she was going to vomit, and she was all sweaty. So what we did was we sit with it. So let's use her as an example. She was like, I'm in so much pain. It's so bad. I'm going to vomit. It's the worst ever. This was all the language coming. And I was like, okay, that's really interesting. Can you tell me where it is? Well, it's right here, my stomach. Okay, all right. So let's put our hands on our stomach. And so we put, I'm closing my eyes and going back to the moment. Yeah. Put her hands on her stomach. Okay, whereabouts is it? It's right here. Let's put our hands on your belly. Okay, can you notice can you feel your hands on your body? Yes. Okay, let's take some deep breaths. I'm noticing you're just breathing up in your chest. Can you breathe into your hands right now? Yes. And so as she sat with it and noticed her body and got out of her head and into her body and was breathing into her hands, she connected her body and her breath, and her whole physiology changed. She went quiet, she calmed down, her shoulders opened, her body relaxed, and she began to just simply breathe. So when we observe pain, any pain, but particularly migraine, we can just sit with it. So I used to just go, oh, I'm in so much pain. Oh, and then just work out how I was going to crawl to the painkillers. So just sitting with it, like this morning as I woke, I was like, oh, migraine. Okay, that's painful. I'm just going to sit with it. Noticed what was happening, just really feeling into it, and just started connecting my body and the breath. So I actually did an anxiety breathing technique. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. So it's a 4, 7, 8. So I started to get anxious about, I can't spend today in a migraine. I've got this to do and that to do in children and all these things. So I was like, okay, sitting with it, I'm noticing what's happening, and I'm connecting my body and my breath. Second thing I did was really identify it. So I was like, where is the migraine? Because at the time it was everywhere. It's like, oh, it's all here in my body. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the hand, I don't know, I'm talking with my hands, but it was like from the very top of my head, all behind my right eye, all down behind my shoulder, and all the way down to the nerves of my right fingers. Like it was everywhere when I first had it. So when I really slowed down, kept breathing, and identified like, where is it? It was actually in my right shoulder, a bit of my neck, but mainly my right shoulder. And then I asked myself, okay, well, what color is it? And it was red, and it was really bright red, like angry, bright, thumping red is how I saw it. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? And then I thought, why are you even asking me that question? Like it's so an 11, like it was just out of control. But we observe it and then we identify it. So get really clear, where is it in your body? What color is it? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the rating? Then we start to explore. So you can explore by journaling. So if you have a severe migraine, obviously journaling is not ideal, but you can definitely meditate, because what we want to do is work on what is the root cause. What is our body actually trying to tell us? Okay. Do we have some sort of disease or dysfunction? Is it emotional? Like what's actually happening in our body? So instead of numbing it out with drugs or alcohol, or other things, how can we really work on this root cause? Because if it keeps coming up, we want to identify why it is and move on from that. So there's some guiding questions that you can ask yourself. So you can meditate on any of these questions, or you could journal on any of these questions, or you could do them in logical order as well. Just work on what resonates most closely for you. Ask your subconscious, which question do I need to answer today? That's always really helpful too. So we just start with, what is my body trying to tell me? Just asking ourselves, what is my body trying to tell me, is so powerful, especially if you tune in and listen. So that's why meditation is so good. But if you can get well enough to journal, or journal after the fact, what was my body trying to tell me? It's also very powerful, ideally in the moment though. So I was asking myself, what is my body trying to tell me? And I was getting its inner resistance. There's incongruence, internal incongruence. How can I nurture myself right now? And then my brain just gave me a whole long list. I want essential oils. I want a warm shower. I want a yoga stretch. I want to pray. I want to pick a card to guide me today. There were a whole lot of things that came up for me to nurture, but it could be grounding myself in the grass, creating more space in my day to rest, making sure I've got enough fluids for the day. Like, how can I nurture myself? Then some more deeper questions. Are my logic and inspiration in conflict? So when we do have migraines and things are sitting up in our head, our body's often trying to tell us something. It needs more nurturing, or your logic and your inspiration are in conflict. So ask yourself these questions and see what comes up. If you got right shoulder or tension, the tensiony kind of headache, which was what I was experiencing, guiding questions are, am I carrying burdens that are not my own? And the other one, which was my one, am I anxious about or protecting myself against the future? And that is the crux of my migraine today. So I'm about to take a very, very significant leap. I'm working through the fear about that. I'm working through the self-worth about that. Those of you in my community and my clients know what I'm up to. And I'll be ready to share that with the wider world once I do this inner work, because it's so important for me to sit through this and work through it so that I can help others do the same. But I was anxious about the future and protecting myself. So protecting myself against what happened in the past and anxious about the future, which is really, really easy to solve because I just have to be in the present. Yeah. So what happened to me in the past is a beautiful lesson. And it's coming up as a risk for the future, but the lesson's there so I can learn this time, right? So it's like, yes, it's a possibility, but now you have the answer. You've already survived that. So, you know, what's possible now? And anxiety about the future is really that voice in my head, but what if this, but what if that? And sometimes these are the voices in our head to protect us. But, you know, there's ways that we can work through that. I teach that with my clients. We're actually doing a piece on it today. So we can work with the voices in our head, our ego, our inner self that protects us, and integrate that into how we live and work and step beyond that. So the migraine was anxiety about the future and protecting myself against the future, but it was about what, will the past happen again? But the thing is, I've already learned the lessons about the past, and I can future-proof the future because I've already been gifted that beautiful lesson. So once I explored that, my pain really started to dissipate. So we can explore it and start to understand the root cause. Sometimes you won't get the answer straight away. It might not come to you in the moment, but it will come to you over time if you continue to ask yourself and ask your subconscious, what is the root cause? Then we take action. So once I knew what I was feeling and why, I asked myself this question: what do I need to do to resolve this? Well, mine was really simple. Get the knowledge that you need to understand it. Work through anything that you don't understand. Make sure you've got full clarity, and then you will know the steps. What action can I start with today? It was simple. Identify the areas where I want to increase my knowledge. So when you're taking a big leap, often the fear is the unknown. We can work on the unknown. Like, what are the things I need to know to feel more secure? Okay. And what action can I take? What knowledge can I get? What assistance can I get? What counseling can I get? What coaching can I get? What mentoring can I get? Do I need to know the numbers? Like, what really is it? So for me, it was really clear to me, what do I need to do to resolve this? So ask yourself, what do I need to do to resolve this? If you don't know, ask yourself, well, if I did know, what might that be? And then what action can I start with today? So it doesn't mean that you have to take that action today. I mean, I recommend that you do. But if you're recovering from a migraine and you've got that cloudy kind of dull headache like I do, you just know the next step. And the knowing the next step is what dissolves the fear, is what dissolves the tension. So what action can I start with today? And the last thing to do is check back in. Where is the pain? My pain had gone from all over my right side to a very centralized little spot. What color is it? Well, it wasn't really dark and throbbing red anymore. It was like a pale pinky color, pretty much like you can see on this slide deck, and that's why I chose it. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? Well, it's sitting at about a 3 now, worlds away from where it was today. And it's just amazing that I've been able to serve my clients and record my podcast and record my session for my clients, which goes into my dashboard. It's super exciting. We're working on some more content for our release of our cacao circles this week, on the final launch of our website, on the design of our online dashboard where we can put all of our content in one place for all of our clients to access whenever they want. So there's so many things I've been able to work on today after taming my migraine. So I truly hope that this helps you tame your migraine. So take care. God bless. Have a beautiful day. And if you would like to connect more deeply with me and my team, you can see the link in the show notes there. Or if you are watching on YouTube, there's a QR code there. So just hold your phone up to this gorgeous looking QR code, click on the link, and you'll be able to connect with us more deeply. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.